Yep, figured out. Sorry about that little delay, guys. We were letting people join in the first place. I was figuring out this new software is a bit tricky to record with in comparison to my old stuff, but my old software, for whatever reason, every time I was recording now, it was like it was deleting my recording right after I would finish it. Very frustrating. So, anyways, let's get right into this weekly community call, guys. So I like to start these things off by asking the community members how their week's been and sharing how my week's been. So my week has been crazy as usual. So with all the different changes that we've been scheming and plotting for the ambassador program here, there's been a lot of development there, a lot of changes planned and stuff, a lot of exciting things planned for our ambassador program. On top of that, I personally had, and still unfortunately am having COVID this week. So dealing with that on top of all the craziness here has been like sleeping in between when I can and like resting up, and then just waking up and trying to like further progress the changes that we have coming to the program. But apart from me, that's how my week has been. Does anybody here in the community want to share with anybody else how their week was gone, or just what you did this week that was really fun or exciting? Feel free to take over the mic now, please.
Hello there. My name is Chris, and my week was been pretty quiet, I think. Right now, I want to join a lot of ambassador programs like Neon Lab, Subspace, Outlair, and I really want to be a moderator somewhere. Not moderator, but a community manager in some projects. Right now, I want to be in Clay Stack and ZK Log community manager. Yeah, that's my goal right now.
Oh wow, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, and guys, don't be shy and speak a little bit, please. Yeah, don't need to be shy right now. It just chill community call with everyone. So yeah.
Yeah. Anyone, yeah, what he was saying is basically just, there's no need to be shy. This is a very like laid back community call. Anybody can unmute themselves and speak. So if you feel like you want to give your opinion or ask a question, please feel free to do so throughout this time. We also have two of our team members present with us today, joining us for the call. AJ, I was wanting to ask you too. I know you're on the social media side of things here. This week we've been pretty chaotically busy, and we've been communicating back and forth. But what are some things this week that really got you excited, or things that you were just really looking forward to that you knocked out?
Hello, everybody. Very awesome to be here, and I hope everyone has been having a great week so far, or has had a great week, because it's technically the weekend, especially for those, I believe, on the Eastern European side. So, but I've been personally working on I've been calling it a beefy article, but in proper terms, it's just a very extensive article. It actually started out as a thread, a Twitter thread, and it just kept getting longer and longer. And I'm like, this is not a Twitter thread. This is an article. So, it's now turned into a Medium article, and it will be released on my personal Medium page. But it is directly for Envarch and about Envarch technology and intellectual property. So I hope it gets a lot more traction than usual. Like, I do appreciate the usual traction that it gets with the few articles that I have written so far. But this is going to be, not to sound arrogant in any way, but I feel like it will be a very interesting read for a lot of people, especially those that don't know much about intellectual property and don't know much about Envarch, or both of them combined. It'll really give, I would say, like, it gives a very not that already established knowledge pieces, for example, the white paper, or the Invarch Edu series. Not that they haven't done this already, but I think this makes a much further and deeper case for Invarch and really proves its significance and importance when it comes to not only Web3 and not only Polkadot and Tinkernet on Kusama, but for the world and how we move forward with protecting IP rights and preserving IP assets, and also truly like reinvigorating innovation. So yeah, that's something I've been very looking forward to. I would also say I can now relate to Dakota as well, because he's our main writer. If like the community members or some of you haven't known, but he's the sole writer behind the Edu series, for example, and of course the white paper. But when he talks about his like writing process and whatnot, yeah, it's not something that you can do in like a couple hours. It really takes time. If you don't know much about writing, and even if I'm sure some of you are like writers and into books and into authors, and like books can take months or even sometimes years, but like the end result is really what matters, to really just create art, to create a piece that's worth reading. So so anyways, I'll stop rambling about that. That's something that I'm excited about. I've been also excited about the little more of the smaller scale content pieces that I've been creating as well. Like, for example, just released a Twitter thread, I believe yesterday, just talking about like, what does it mean when, you hear about Invarch and you hear about three terms of scalability, interoperability, and composability. So, that's a great, more of a TLDR type of thing. And if you want to learn more about what those terms mean and what they truly like embody when it comes to Invarch and then its technology, so that's there. And just also just keeping active around the dot Sama and like Polkadot and Kusamaverse, and really excited about, for example, like not that it's related to Invarch, but I mean Gabe did create it, but the GM Parachain, so currently still in the running, and there's a lot of momentum behind that. So I'm like very proud, because to have someone and if you guys don't know, like Gabe created that like within 2 hours, which is crazy, like the actual GM Parachain.
Absolutely insane.
So that's not that it's related to Invarch, but it is a correlation, because our very own technical genius like created that. So I mean, like, hey, at the end of the day, we're all family, and I feel like if you do feel like supporting it, I truly recommend that you do, because I think I tweeted this yesterday or the day before, but I tweeted, it's not just about saying good morning, it's about spreading good mornings. So
yeah, don't let your memes be dreams. I love that's probably my favorite thing that they say. Oh man. But okay, going on. Thank you, by the way, AJ. That was beautiful. I love your energy. You're really bringing it for the community this morning. Maybe picking up where I'm lacking right now, because I just feel a little bit like death, but I'm pulling through.
Oh man, no, you're doing a good job.
So, INV4Git, right? INV4Git is the developer's destination to Web3 for Git file management and version control. With INV4Git, developers can tokenize their code and have it consist of Invarch features such as like distributed ownership, on-chain licensing, etc. This is the first step in realizing what will be GitArch, and is basically one of the proudest moments for the project. If you guys also didn't know, this was the last milestone for us to submit on for our Web3 Foundation grant. So now that that's completed and we've submitted that, we will be releasing like an article talking about all of that in very big detail once the Web3 Foundation does get back to us. But we have made that submission for the final milestone. So very, very exciting stuff going on backdoor. We actually do have the head of Genius himself here with us, Tinker Gabe, or as I like to refer to him as Chad Gabe. But he's a little busy right now. He's working on some things. He's just listening in the background because he loves hearing from our community. So if he gets a moment to step in, he would love to give you guys some comments further on INV4 Git directly from the man who built it himself. But just know basically the general summarization of what INV4 Git does for those of you who are, I guess, not in like the developer ware or knowledge sphere like I am sometimes, and I have to really dive in to understand. INV4 Git is essentially allows people to use the CLI or the command line interface to connect to the chain. You can push and manage your files and then use the blockchain as a GitHub, so to say, alternative. And you can make updates, clone, conduct branching. So basically, it takes the experience that a Web 2 developer is familiar with already on a command line interface and just replaces it. And they're no longer on Web 2, they're doing it in Web 3, and the experience is the exact same. So why is that such a big deal? Because developers, believe it or not, they like their tools. They have this mindset: if something's not broken, I don't need to fix it. And if you have a developer who's used to Web 2 and they like those tools, they don't want to have to take the time necessarily to learn a whole new tool or possibly a whole nother coding language even, just to be able to use this different tool. And so this like changes that for them. It makes it exactly the same as a Web 2 experience, but they're doing it in Web 3, and they might not even be aware of it when they're doing it the first time, you know. So that was our huge like motivator there, because GitArch essentially will be a replacement in the future for GitHub for developers, and it's very exciting. I know, for example, AJ, you've kind of been with our boss Dakota, as he's been talking to you, like you about like the weekly Wednesday when you guys were prepping for that and things about INV4 Git. Did he give you any extra details or like things that you could tell the community that I might not have added in there about INV4 Git that they could be excited about, or like what they can expect? The last little thing that I can think of that I didn't say yet is like you will first see this type of functionality actually available on Tinkernet as well. So it'll be the first blockchain of its kind to have this type of ability. And that's something, once again, that we're extremely looking forward to. We think it's going to be an amazing event whenever it all goes live and people are able to use it.
Yeah, well, honestly, there wasn't anything said further about it, other than just giving the full initial report / announcement on INV4 Git during the weekly Wednesday. But I mean, just to reiterate, like it's like it won't be just exclusive to developers, builders on Invarch and on Tinkernet. I mean, obviously, like it comes with like if you guys don't know much when it comes to the entire Invarch network, I mean, like we're going to be leveraging, we're going to be integrating with all other parachains, you know, and like with that follows like announcements of such parachains like as time goes on and we actually solidify and secure partnerships as well. But I mean, generally like any chain that implements the INV4 protocol, you know, they can be also included with the INV4 Git tool. So it's like even Gabe, I believe he tweeted this as well, but he mentioned like you don't even have to use like the Remark standard Remark as the NFT standard, because the INV4 protocol will generally be will then become like generalized to accept any type of standard when it comes to NFTs. So it's like, yeah, like it doesn't have to just be exclusive to Invarch or Tinkernet, because really like it's all about, you know, utilizing each other's tech to make a better place. So and to really like bring a lot of solutions and to realize a lot of things when it comes to Polkadot and the broader Web3 vision. So.
Yeah, I think that's just really quick going off of what you, like kind of piggybacking on what you just said. I think that's one of the things, like when people talk about Tinkernet, they talk about Invarch, and they start asking like, what is the specific use case, right? And that's like a very normal question that we receive. And it's like the specific use case is broad. We're allowing you to protect your IP by using an assortment of protocols that are completely developed within the past year, and some of them are still currently in development. But like the difference here is we're not focused on how can we make a huge profit as a network, right? That was never the focus. The focus when we were assembling the team was how can we create disruptive technology that's for the benefit of everyone. And so when someone asks us like, what is our specific use case, I feel like most people are coming from that place of like, okay, how is your use case going to profit? How are you going to make something that's a product? And it's like, we are making a product, but the profit margin is not the end goal. The end goal is seeing these incredible dApps and like incredible technology built on top of what we're building. That's the end goal. That will be like our golden egg, so to say, is seeing the amazing things that people can build on top of Invarch and on top of Tinkernet. So, but yeah, I mean, that's like what you were saying, basically, like without Tinkernet and without Invarch, this functionality wouldn't be coming as rapidly. And so we're happy to be giving that to you guys as rapidly as we can provide it. But going on into the next little subject, we talked about INV4Get. Before we kind of like close this little sect, does anybody have any questions that they want to ask on INV4Get? If we can answer them, we'd be more than happy to. If we don't know the answer ourselves, we'll try to get back to you guys next weekly Wednesday, my apologies, or community call next Friday, and let you guys know. Or if anybody thinks of a question after the fact and they want to shoot me a DM, feel free to as well.
I just want to personally reiterate to everyone here, like what Chris said just earlier in the call, like we want all of you to speak your mind, like this is your community. This is your project. It's not just our project. It's not just our tech. It's not just, solutions for us or for, those outside the Invarch community. Like this project wouldn't be where it is without all of you and without the rest of your fellow community members and those who are ambassadors or your fellow ambassadors. Like this wouldn't be possible without your entire support. And so, like, we truly encourage, like, if you have something to say, if you want to compliment, an Invarch team member, or if you want to compliment your fellow community member for doing something, that you saw on social media, or if they did something like with the community that we haven't noticed, for example, or if you even want to talk about, like, if you have a criticism, or if you have a concern, or if you have something that you like about the tech and something you liked about, any aspect of the project. Like we want to hear your thoughts and we want to listen to you and we want to create and further maintain like an inviting and inclusive atmosphere when it comes to Invarch and its community. So I personally will piggyback off of Chris's comment earlier when he said, like, don't be shy. And just really just speak your mind and tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, that's why we're in the Invarch Tech Community Lounge. If we were in a lounge where, for example, nobody does this, so don't feel like I'm saying anybody does this, but like, for example, say we had a ton of interruptions. If we hosted these in the Invarch Team Lounge, which is the channel right above this one. Oh, sorry for that. That was really loud. Something just fell. If I hosted this in the Invarch Team Lounge, everyone's automatically muted, and the only way you can speak is like I unmute you. If the reason I hold these in the Invarch Tech Community channel is so anyone can speak. These are very laid back and nonchalant. We do these every Friday. So these are really just a place for our community members to get together, to kick off their weekend, and basically just come together, recapitulate the week's events, and get prepared for next week. So once again, yeah, if you guys, like I said, this is your all's community just as much as it is ours. As the community manager, this is what I've been building for you all. So I want you guys to enjoy it. I want you guys to feel welcome here. I want you guys to feel like you guys can communicate and talk with us. So once again, you're more than welcome to interact and speak your mind. Let us know your thoughts. But if nobody has any immediate, I'll give like 30 more seconds. If anybody has any questions regarding INV4 Git, please speak now, message now, or forever hold your peace, and we will move on into the next subject. All right, guys. Well, I don't see anybody typing. Nobody is speaking. So if anybody comes up with a question later for INV4 Git, that's fine. Just message myself. And if I can't answer it, I will get to somebody who can give me an answer, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So moving on to the next thing I wanted to highlight. So some of you guys might already know this. Some of you guys do not. We actually do have some new team members, some official Invarch team members. So we recently had one join us. His name is Jake. He is from Chaos DAO. He was retired, quote unquote, and he was learning Rust. He's a Rust engineer, and he's brilliant. He really caught our attention when we attended Consensus. I got to meet him there personally, and we got to have some great conversations. Before he ever even engaged with us on a professional level, he already had very, very kind of in-depth understanding, I would say better than most of the project, before he ever approached anybody on our team. And so it was very refreshing to just have somebody who was basically asking me questions in a sense, that I don't normally get asked, and I'm like, okay, this is a little bit different. So it was really awesome having him join the team. I don't think he's here this morning, but if Jake rewatches this, thanks for joining the team, man. It's a pleasure having you. We also will be having another person join, I believe in August 1st, the start of August, if you caught our weekly Wednesday. His name is Pedro. He will be our lead front-end developer. Very excited for him to be joining us. We've been searching for a lead front-end dev for a while now. As everybody kind of jokes around in the Dotsama ecosystem, it's not so easy all the time to find developers. So we're very happy to be having him join us and being able to start finally getting things done on the front end side of things, because we've been eagerly anticipating somebody to get in that role. So Pedro, it's going to be a pleasure having you join the team at the start of August. I can't wait for you to join. The other thing I wanted to get into is our ambassador program. So our ambassador program currently is undergoing a lot of plotting and changes. We're trying to make these changes happen as soon as possible. Basically, I'm not going to go into the meat and potatoes of it all, so to say. That's a little American, joke for you. But basically, we do have some very exciting changes that are coming. We highly anticipate that the community will be excited about these changes. So if you haven't had the opportunity to join in our ambassador program yet, please, by all means, if you haven't already applied and you're interested in fulfilling that role and earning some Varch tokens for your contributions to our project, and just being a part of something bigger than yourself inside of the Dotsama ecosystem, and being a part of a team of like-minded individuals who want to see intellectual property be protected and accelerated development happen across the ecosystem. If that sounds like you, then the Invarch Ambassador Program is perfect for you. Really quickly, while I'm talking about it, I will actually pull the application form and I will just drop it into the chat that we're in. If you guys don't know, there is a chat box for the community lounge channel. And some of you guys are already talking in there, so I know some of you are familiar with it. I just dropped it in there. If you guys don't know how to get to it, I'll tell you really quick, very simple. So you hover over the Invarch Community Lounge voice channel that you clicked on to join. You just hover your mouse over it, and there's a little chat section. You can hit open chat. I just posted the Invarch Embassy form to apply to there. If you guys are interested, if you haven't already, please submit an application. We would be more than happy to have you. We are trying to expand our ambassador program based on different regions. So like North America, South America, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and then just like a general middle area of Europe, and Africa, Middle East, all these different places, Asia. So we have certain targets that we're intending to hit, and we're trying to reach. However, we need everyone's help as well, basically spreading the news about our project and driving that adoption. So if you might know somebody who you think would be a great ambassador as well, please share our information with them. See if you can interest them in our project, because I guarantee you they haven't heard of an intellectual property and accelerated development Web3 project. So generally, whenever we talk about it, it does catch people's attention. I would also like to say that so far we have been one of the most rewarding ambassador programs to date inside of the Web3.som ecosystem. And we also did things a little bit differently. We literally started last year about almost a year ago exactly, and in about October we started our ambassador program. So a very short time from birth of the project officially to ambassador program launch. Basically, you guys have been with us every step of the way. So there's also a thing now for those of you who have been waiting for maybe an extended amount of time to join the ambassador program and you haven't gotten in yet. We have term limits that just went into effect for the first time. So basically, from this point moving forward, every round term limits will go into effect or affect a group of individuals who were accepted during that round. And basically what the term limits do at this point in time is say, just to be 100% clear, and I like explaining this because I get a lot of questions about it. So a term, if you get the opportunity to join the ambassador program and you are reviewing the ambassador handbook, it talks about our term limits. Just for transparency for our community members, the term limits, one term is equal to 2 rounds, and you can be in the ambassador army or the ambassador corps each for 2 terms, meaning a total of 4 rounds. So say you're in the army for your 2 terms or 4 rounds, then you will be retired if you are not accepted into a corps position, and you'll be given the title Veteran Ambassador. For those of you who might have seen that new role pop up on the server, if you see someone titled Veteran Ambassador, that is the reason being. It is because they are actually retired from round 6, which is when they joined. So if you guys are interested once again in joining the ambassador program, I highly encourage it. It's a great atmosphere, a great place to be, and a lot of rewarding and exciting things going on there. But that's enough about me shilling the ambassador program and the exciting changes coming. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the Invarch Assemble, the Invarch Builders program. It is such a mouthful to say that every time. News regarding this will be shared in less than just a week's time from now. So if you guys caught our weekly Wednesday, they did say in that in a week's time, you guys could expect a bigger update on this. But basically, it is designed to be a cross-chain joint project with a cross-ecosystem effort as well. And it's a builders program where developers will be able to build not just within or towards Invarch and Tinkernet infrastructure projects, but also cross-chain dApps and applications that utilize technologies that are present in not only the Tinkernet and Invarch parachain, but in other parachains that exist throughout the ecosystem. So basically, we are trying to make this a giant program where we inspire people to build disruptive technology on top of our program. And as it states here, it doesn't just have to be built within or towards the Invarch and Tinkernet infrastructure projects. This is a cross-chain effort. So the potential here is huge. We're very excited for this stuff to the final details to be released. In the final details, you guys can expect the actual dates for the opening up of the application process for this and highlighting the supporters of the Invarch Builders program, because I know a lot of you guys have been asking, because we've released the details that it is a cross-chain, cross-project effort ecosystem-wise. A lot of you guys have been asking what other projects are interested in supporting it, and we do have some exciting names to share with you guys, and we will get to them whenever we get to release that final push of details for all of you guys. This coming week, we will have a lot of exciting information coming out. So if you guys haven't been, definitely be paying attention to the community updates. I try not to tag everybody, like maybe like more than like 2 or 3 times a day. But I do appreciate everyone checking out all the updates and staying on top of it with this stuff. This program is going to be a big deal for us. It's going to be like one of the first real ways for us to incentivize people to really build some disruptive technologies and things along that nature. So I'm excited to see what teams of people and individuals get involved in that program and start building things. But other than that, AJ, are you? You're still here with us. Do you have anything else that you can add on the Envargitex Builders program and like what people can expect for that, or what you're excited to see being built from that yourself? Just like maybe one idea of something that you think could possibly be built there.
Personally, I do not have a specific idea. I mean, again, I'm not a builder per se, a developer. I don't build on a daily basis. I do have ideas, but I mean, I don't think they'd be super concrete to the point where they'd be great for something like the Envarge Builders program. But I am excited to really see like what can be made and what can come out of the program, and really to just know that it's going to be like cross-chain, like cross-ecosystem in nature, and it's not just focused on Envarge and Tinkernet and its technologies, but it's also leveraging and really showcasing like the other parachains and their technologies in the ecosystem, which I think is great. I mean, like that just reminds me of how when Dakota said in his panel or in the panel that he was on at Decentral, where it's like Cosmos is not going anywhere, Ethereum is not going anywhere, Polkadot's not going anywhere. So like, why continue this more like competitive and sovereign chain type of narrative when we can just really lift each other up and use each other's technologies in some way if we can, or to really for like the greater good, right? So I feel like having a builders program and obviously having that on Envarge would really just bring that out, and it can really speak to those types of like principles and values that have been put forward by not just Dakota, but I mean, I would say like primarily first by Gavin Wood, right? So yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that. So, yeah, no, I 100% agree with what you just said. A lot of exciting things that we can anticipate coming from that. And I guess like the last little thing that I like to do is I like to open up the floor for just some general .sama conversations. So this doesn't have to be just directed towards Envarge and Tinkernet, although it absolutely can. But I like to just kind of talk about what project you've been watching through the week, or if you've discovered a new project and that kind of thing, and like just talk about it with the community. So I wanted to talk about GM or Die. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys are aware of GM or Die. They've been kind of disruptive in the space and on Twitter and things like that. If you guys haven't been paying attention, I honestly don't know how you haven't seen something about GM or Die at this point. But basically, they're doing their Kusama parachain right now, and it's a meme parachain. If you all aren't familiar with it, I highly recommend checking it out. It's kind of like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just a different type of community there. I'm part of their Discord as well, and it's hilarious. I also was one of the individuals who whenever they were trying to secure enough Kusama to run for a slot, I was already in their GM or Die Discord, and so they were basically like, hey, if you contribute some KSM to be able for us to be able to register for the slot, we'll call you a GM or Die VC. So that was hilarious to me. So I contributed some KSM just so I can earn that title. But yeah, it's just an all-around funny project. It's a meme parachain. I think it's hilarious. I think having things like this in the space that is in a space that is so serious like .sama and this ecosystem, this atmosphere, like the communities are very nonchalant and laid back, but they're serious at the same time. They want tech that's revolutionary. They want tech that's groundbreaking. And so seeing something like this that kind of like, brings a smile to your face because you see it and you're just like, oh, haha. And it's not such a serious thing, and it's all a project based essentially on community and your friends, right? Sending GMs and GNs and having your friend. So that's what I wanted to talk about. The project that I had kind of been looking into recently, and just kind of been paying closer attention to, was that. Ironically, they do say, it's kind of like a social experiment, parachain in a sense. But I think it's awesome. I really like the community over there as well. A great group of guys. A lot of guys from Chaos DAO have joined as well. They think it's awesome. So yeah, that's the other Dot Summer project that I've been checking out and looking into. If you guys haven't, I can't recommend anyone contribute directly, but I do. If you're wanting to be part of the social experiment that they're doing, check out their parachain, check out their crowd loan, and look into what's going on over there. It's pretty cool. Maybe even join their community, because I know I did and I haven't regretted it. Does anybody else have any other projects that they want to talk about, or maybe bring attention to the rest of our community to, who might not be aware? Maybe a new project or project that we just haven't discussed before, or even if we have discussed it, maybe you can just bring some new highlights from over in their place or project channels, whatever the case may be. Feel free to do so now. I want to hear what the community has to say. All right. Hey, Chris Morris, I wanted to ask you, so you were talking about how you wanted to be a community manager to some different projects. So I wanted to ask you, out of those projects, which one are you more interested in as far as like the aspect of the community? Like what attracts you there? Which one of those projects are you really trying to like secure a place in, or like solidify a position? Which project drew you in, and for why?
Okay, are we talking about a Polkadot ecosystem project, Dotsama, or just Web3 projects?
It can be Dotsama related or Web3 in general. This is kind of like just like that open discussion. Like, I like to find new projects, and I feel like some of the times the best ways to find new projects is just interacting with your community members, because we're all doing different things at the same time, And so we're all finding different things, seeing different news bits and articles, things like that. So yeah, please share with us.
Okay, I really like free projects with amazing community. No, yeah, I like really right now Aleo. Aleo has this amazing ambassador program where you need to do a lot of content for to get the role in it, and it's program built like you need to do. If you get your ambassador role, you need to do every month one different type of content, like translations, events, MA, or infographic video, something like that. So project not about doing 5 infographics in a day, they need good quality content.
Okay.
So, and I really like the community there. They're really active right now. Next project, it's and audio about technology. It's actually blockchain, layer 1 blockchain, where you can build privacy decentralized projects on it. So every dApp you build on Aleo, it's gonna be with privacy.
Oh wow, that is cool.
Next project in Dotsama ecosystem, it's Subspace. About technology a little bit, it's project solve blockchain trilemma. If you heard about it, Vitalik Buterin trilemma or something like that. It's actually about one blockchain can have decentralization, scalability, and security, but Subspace solves this problem. And with Subspace, you can have all three. Yeah, all three of these aspects.
Wow. Okay. That is very
Yeah,
cool.
and about community, I don't really like Subspace community, but I want to be ambassador here. Yeah, in this project because I think it's jam. Yeah, I think Subspace is a little jam.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love
Yeah.
having that's one of the things too is like I'm in a lot of the different .sama projects discords because I like seeing the engagement that they have with their communities and things like that. And I like just being able to kind of like not necessarily we're not like stealing community members, but I like to talk with their community members about like what they know about their project and like see how serious they are about it, those types of things. And sometimes that's how I find like that's how I get some people into the Invarch ecosystem because like we start talking and they see like I have like 10 mutual servers with them or something like that, and they're like, oh, okay, so like you're kind of familiar, and we get to talk, and then they ask like what do I do in the space, blah 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 blah, and it leads them
Yeah.
to joining our ecosystem and then them discovering our projects and stuff. So it's always really cool, and that's like I've probably talked about this 3 or 4 times already, but just the camaraderie between projects in the .sama ecosystem specifically is always so cool to see because like nobody ever gets frustrated if you're talking about like what's cool too is like some other projects will even put specific like channels in their discords for you to talk about just .sama related projects and things like that. So I always think stuff like that is cool to see. But thank you so much for sharing with us, Chris.
Yep.
I wanted to, I guess the last little thing, we've gone through everything that I wanted to update the community on this week. So I guess the last little bit is just I wanted to open up the floor for some community questions or anything regarding like Tinkernet, Invarch, INV4Git, anything that anybody can think of. I'm just going to give it like a minute or two. If anybody has any questions, feel free to just ask it or like you can type it. But then we're gonna wrap this thing up. But now is your time. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask them. It'd be cool if I could get like a little sound bar and just like play Jeopardy music every time I ask the community to like do like a question or something. Just like have it in the background. I'm totally joking, by the way, guys.
Casey, GM.
GM Dustin. GM.
Oh. I guess the question I would have is, you guys are onboarding now or already have onboarded?
So as far as I understand, we're preparing to onboard, is what we're being told. Like, so we won our slot auction and everything, and now we're getting ready to onboard. And then like people have also been asking like when will we get our Tinker distribution rewards? So I believe they said like they're wanting to do it very shortly after we're onboarded, is when we will do Tinker TGE and distribute everyone's Tinker tokens.
Crypto hustler in the building.
What's up, AJ?
What's
cool.
up? Darwinia energy in the house, man.
Arwenia. Yep, I'm in bright, sunny California this week. I'll be chilling here for the weekend and be back in the office, back kicking butt, save the world one day at a time. You know how it is out here.
Yep, I totally get it.
But yeah, exciting times for Invarch. You guys, won the Parachain, of course. Congratulations, and hopefully we can all, start connecting some HRMP channels with you guys. And
Like clients.
Yeah.
yeah,
If you haven't, Dustin, just really quick while you're here with us, if you haven't gotten the opportunity to check out that INV4Git demo, check that out. It's pretty sweet.
okay, I haven't.
Yep, Gabe put together a little demo on INV4Git, and it is magnifique, put it that way. But
Okay.
anyways, if no other community members have any questions, I won't hold everybody else here for the rest of your time. It's always great having you guys join us. I believe we actually broke the past week's record. I think this is our biggest turnout so far for Friday morning community call. So thank you all so much for tuning in, joining me this morning, and the rest of our team members and community members who spoke. Thank you guys for giving me your opinions and your sharing your thoughts. If in the future anybody wants to be able to talk on this, just know that you're totally able to. You can unmute yourself at any time, ask questions, give your thoughts and opinions. That's what this is for. We want our community to feel welcome. We want them to feel like we value their opinions and that we value their time. And we value your all's membership to our community, because you guys could be in any server and you chose to spend your Friday morning with us. So we greatly appreciate it. We look forward to next Friday morning's community call. I hope to see all of you back again. And have a blessed weekend, guys. It's going to be a hot one for me, so lots of staying inside and probably working further on the community. So anyways, hi. Somebody asked really quickly, where can we find the demo? Really quickly, before I end this call, I will post a link to the demo in the chat for your all's convenience. Okay, here is a link. There you go. INV4 Git demo link is right there if you guys want it. No, so somebody asked, what if someone gets the ambassador, does he forget about the usual Invarch channel? So really quickly, just to answer that, we separate the two. We separated the two because we had a lot of ambassador activity on our primary community server, and it was getting kind of difficult to differentiate. Like, people were getting confused thinking that this was just an ambassador server, and so we found the easiest solution was to actually split the two. So we have an embassy server that operates our ambassador program inside of it, and then we have our community server. To be in the embassy program, for one, if you apply, you need to be a part of the community server. If you're not, most likely we don't have any mutual servers, and I can't even find you to send you an invite. Secondly, if you do want to be an Invarch Embassy member, you need to apply. And then basically, how did it solve the problem? So basically, it solved our problem because we immediately were able to shift the entire community Discord that we're in now to focus on the community. And still like community-based channels and things like that. And then in the Invarch embassy channel, the server over there, we're able to focus all of the channels on specific tasks, basically groups, these types of things. And so it's able to be much more organized and separated. So that way, if somebody wants to be part of the ambassador program, they have that opportunity, but they don't have to be overwhelmed with seeing things about it or like posts regarding it, etc. in the community server if they just want normal project updates and things like that. So that was our main reason as to why we did that. But if nobody has any other questions, once again,
I just have something to say. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Just the guys and gals, shout outs to Crypto Hustler 101, aka Dustin from Darwinia. He raps, brightens your mood, brightens your day. Also, he runs Evolution Versus with Greg Hood. I just had like a little interview video session with them this past last weekend. So awesome time. The game is super cool, and it is really invigorating. So I encourage y'all to check it out. Check out Darwinia. Their tech is great. But I want to just give flowers to Dustin once again because he's an awesome individual and a great spirit for Dotsama.
Amen to that. All right.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
All right, everybody. Well, once again, thank you all for joining us this beautiful Friday morning. and have a beautiful weekend. We'll see you all next week for our weekly Wednesday update, as well as the Friday community call. So see you all next week, and hopefully I won't have COVID then.